Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just check here who are all present in the last e-health conference, maybe. Yeah, a few of them. Good. Today, I am going to take you through the modernization process of any hospital. And in fact, if you see the topic that was given to me today for the keynote address was just not about implementation of IT in the hospital, but they are talking about harnessing technology for hospital modernization, a new paradigm shift in the care management. I think I've been addressing this gathering for almost 2-3 years. I've been seeing that this E-India conference has been going from strength to strength. I see here some of my old colleagues like Dr. Petikachari, and I also see my boss, Dr. Nalaji Palanisamy, just entering this auditorium. And let me very quickly take you through the various ICT applications in a modern hospital. Maybe people like us have been in this field, particularly in the large corporate hospitals, for over 25 years. And we have seen the hospital practically running with manual labor. We have about 300-400 housekeeping people or some nurses, and practically everything was done manually. Way back in 1983, when I started my career in Apollo Hospital, when we started as 250-bed hospital, we had about 500-600 employees. Slowly it grew. Then by the time when I came to Kovai Medical Center in 1990, we had seen the computers just gathering momentum. The hospital management software was installed here and there in isolated pockets. They were operating as independent modules. But once the Windows came in 2000, I think the entire scenario changed completely. I was not happy when computers came in. I was not happy when we had maybe 50 computers working in 20 departments, working as independent modules and systems. But I got really excited when the networking started. And I think networking of computer systems in the hospital or anywhere in the world, in any discipline, call it engineering, call it banking, I think that changed the entire scene, and life became completely different in any organization. But what we did, the hospitals, we tried to take the best practices from engineering industries, banking industries, and we tried to develop our own ERPs. Even today, if you ask me, Ananthapadmanabhan, have you seen a very comprehensive IT solution covering all departments, covering all technologies, encompassing all devices? I must tell you, not yet. Not only in India, but all over the world. But that has happened in banking. That has happened in engineering. That has happened in logistics. But it is not happening in the field of information technology, particularly in healthcare. But a lot has happened in the last 8 years, and very interesting. But when we talk about solutions for healthcare, it is very difficult to provide solution by a single vendor. It is not possible for one software vendor to develop an entire solution. You should have a lot of third-party vendors, maybe in PACS, maybe in voice recognition, maybe in mobile technology, and bring them together to make it a wonderful solution. You know, as Ananthapadmanabhan is little notorious for talking for long, but I must confess to you today, I am no different now. I have a long presentation, but you will not regret seeing this presentation and understanding a few things. In fact, Dr. Singh asked me, Ananthapadmanabhan, do you have anything new than what you told last year in this meeting? I did tell him, yes, we have done a lot of improvements. The whole industry has gone through a lot of change, and even in our hospital we have made a lot of changes, and I thought I will portray before you and be transformed through ICT. And he also goes on to say that the entire energy consumption of the world can be looked at in different pieces, and out of that he says 20 megacities in the world use 75% of the energy, and 40% of that energy is used by the large buildings. And he also goes on to say that only 40% of those large buildings are used. So he says Cisco as a company is trying to understand that shift in the behavior of the people and is trying to develop solutions in all verticals, and healthcare is no exception. Maybe when talking about a large hospital, maybe this is a master plan of a 800-bed hospital with about 1 million square feet. If you had planned 20 years ago, I think the way you would have seen the construction of the building completely differently. Maybe you will be talking about the partitions, you would be talking about centrally air conditioning or partially air conditioning the building, or what kind of interior are you planning to do, or maybe little of computers, maybe telephone lines. But today, if you have to plan like you plan for the AC, like you plan for the drainage, I think you should plan for the ICT. The building must be planned for ICT. Maybe an example is the extension of our building. The 300 expansion which we did, you will see it a completely different building, and you see this is how it is done up. And in every place, you have a nurse call system, you have a huge network of Cat 6A lines, you have Cisco switches all around, you have CCTVs all around, you have BMS all around, you have pneumatic pipeline systems all around going to the hospital, and you will see the way the training is imparted in these hospitals. Maybe 20 years ago, you could have never imagined a convention center in a hospital. But today you have in our hospital a convention center. It has become a part of the hospital, and the implementation of IT in that convention center makes a lot of difference. You see here the entire capacity building. The train happens in the hospital, and you will see one of our doctors, Dr. Pattabhiraman, organizing a huge conference, and I think at the back end is the ICT. He is able to train about 200, 300 specialists on a very specialized procedure called EBUS. You see the way he is doing, and but for this ICT application, we could have never imagined. You may have had a good auditorium, but we could have never done this kind of a conference. Here, they are able to even show you the ultrasound that is done maybe about 1 kilometer away. Okay, maybe I said all that about the hospital building. I think it would be not fair to leave out medical records. Although I have my own views about digital medical records, because I believe that digital medical records, implementation of digital medical records in India is a very, very difficult thing to do. And it's a great challenge, as Singh was saying yesterday. But it will happen in India. And it's a matter of time. Maybe it may take about 4 to 5 years, in my opinion. But people like us are caught between whether we should have manual records, whether we should have electronic medical records, or whether we should have digital medical